Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio. Tuesday morning, the Live Tour, when it got started, had a lot of money, but sometimes money don't mean a lot of people are going to be into it. Seems to be dwindling. Is they going to come back from this?
Well, you have to give the Live Tour credit for trying anyway. They're hoping to do that. Initially, when they began, the Saudi Arabian, whatever it was, public funds dumped $5 billion, with a B, $5 billion into the Live Tour. So far, they've lost about $800 million. Well, that's not satisfactory at all. So the Saudi Arabian government has pulled out of that at the end of this year. They will quit funding the Live Tour. So Live, well, that's maybe the death knell, maybe not. The Live officials have gone now to a private investment bank based in New York and said, hey, can you help us out? Can you give some money? Can you get some investors to perhaps put some money in the Live Tour, and we'll try to continue. But I'll tell you, the facts behind all of that are pretty dim. Their TV ratings were awful. Of course, their TV network was Fox and the CW. The CW is not exactly associated with sports. And it was limited. Now, the Live Tour has changed its format a little bit. They go to 72 holes instead of the 54-team ratio and shotgun start that they had. But over and above that, it really hasn't caught on, even with some big names playing in there. So we'll see whether or not this last-ditch effort has any credibility to it at all.
We will definitely see what happened. On that note, we're going to see what happens in Orlando. Magic's got a new coach.
They do. They will have a new coach coming in. No idea as to who it's going to be. Billy Donovan is considered to be one of the top prospects. But the Orlando Magic fired Jamal Mosley yesterday, and you have to say why. He's been with the program for 5 years. Well, he apparently had lost touch with his teammates or the club itself. And Orlando had a 3-1 lead over the favored Detroit Pistons in the playoffs. 3-1 over the weekend. They blew that entire margin and lost on Sunday and got knocked out of the playoffs. And the ownership said, hey, sorry, Jamal, we appreciate what you've done, but it's not getting it done now. We should have gotten a whole lot better. And when you blow a 3-1 lead like that, hey, OUT, see ya. And the Magic will have a new coach.
Got NBA playoffs continuing last night. The Minnesota-San Antonio game looked pretty good.
It was an outstanding game.
But that New York-Philly game, not in the same ballpark.
Well, keep in mind now that when Philadelphia started their series with Boston, they got blown out of the ballpark in Boston and came back to win.
That's very true.
Philadelphia and New York, a great rivalries going on for seemingly centuries. Dates back to the 1940s. But they opened in Madison Square Garden, and New York won it big. Minnesota and San Antonio. San Antonio is my dark horse to win the whole thing, and I think they still have a great chance of getting there. Wembanyama had a triple-double last night, including 13 blocked shots. But the Minnesota Timberwolves won the game 104-102 in a dandy, so they take a 1-0 lead. The game was in San Antonio. It behooves now the Spurs to win their game at home coming up.
Both the Cardinals and Royals in divisional series right now. Let's start with the Cardinals facing off with Milwaukee, and these are must-win series for both teams.
Well, they're in the same division, of course, and that makes a very big difference. And the Cardinals opened their series with the Brewers, beating them 6-3. Cardinals are playing very well. They're getting very good hitting. The pitching, while I think it is still the Achilles heel of the team, is coming through and doing well, but the hitting is what makes me kind of chuckle. Ivan Herrera has carried a huge piece of lumber in this early going for the Cardinals. Had 3 RBIs last night, 2 hits. Ivan Herrera never hit like this with the Springfield Cardinals when he was down here. In fact, he was kind of a liability at the bat. But, boy, he's really come on playing well for the Cardinals. Cardinals win at 6-3 over the Milwaukee Brewers. They'll play again tonight. Royals and the Guardians, 6-2 was the final here, and Kansas City wins this one, hit 3 home runs. Bobby Witt had a big one in this one. So did Vinny Pasquantino and Jack Caglione. They all homered. And the Royals beat the Guardians 6-2. Michael Wacha getting the win here. So a couple of big wins, and now everybody, including the Springfield Cardinals, will be back in action tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the weather holds back for the Springfield Cardinals, and looking like rain for the next couple days. You don't want to see that. But, yeah, same thing can be said about the Royals. Their pitching is definitely the Achilles heels, but yesterday it did hold up. We'll see what happens when they play again tonight against Cleveland at home in Kauffman. So, pretty crazy finish again, like we talked about. Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Is the Golden Tempo going to run in the next one?
Has not been decided yet. The Golden Tempo trainer is the very first female ever to win a Kentucky Derby, is the trainer Sherry DeVoe, and she said they're going to examine Golden Tempo over the next couple of days and see how well he recovers from the Derby run. That's very taxing for these horses. They are great athletes, but the fact is they get tired like everybody else. Anyway, Golden Tempo is back at his home in Keeneland in Kentucky and will go through the recovery process. So it hasn't really been decided yet. It will be in the next few days. Now, the Preakness is not this weekend, but it is next weekend. It's only a 2-week, or actually 2.5-week difference between the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Preakness is the second jewel in the Triple Crown. The difference this year is the Preakness, which is normally run at Pimlico in Baltimore, and usually a crowd of about 105,000 to watch it, is being run this year at Laurel Race Park, which is also in Maryland between Baltimore and Washington. And the reason is that Pimlico is shut down. So how that affects the horses realize when there are big crowds there watching, and they realize all the fanfare that goes on. Does it make a difference in the Preakness? We will find out. That's in 2 weeks coming up.
You know, you made a comment about horses being athletes, and I was like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that, but it's true. It really is. So I Googled it, and I found a website that had the top 10 animal athletes. Number 1, the cheetah.
Yeah,
I want to see a Triple Crown cheetah race. Let's see how we can pull that off.
I'd like to see the human cheetah against the animal cheetah, and I promise you the animal cheetah would win.
Oh, yeah, animal cheetah. Even the slowest animal cheetah is going to win that race, Ned. Stay dry and have a great Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow.